Alright, this is the Duelist Tro with deck list. My friend's deck list of a Tiger King Burden Stun. There's not many decks like this out there, so this is an original build. So let's get started. First, we have three Tiger Kings. Tiger King Wanghu, they're really good. They stop your opponent from normal summoning anything 14 or lower, and they combo great with Burden of the Mighty. So they stop your opponent from basically doing anything when Burden on the Mighty is on the field. This is a great card. It also stops your opponent from like tomatoing and gale and all that stuff. So really good card. Next we have three Thunder King Rai-Oh. Thunder King staple and anti-meta. You guys all know what they do. They stop the synchros which plague this deck. So Thunder King, they stop your opponent's Sangan searches and all that. So they're really good. Next we have two Cauis, the Shadow Monarch Cauis. We all know what he does. He's great. He controls the field, and this is what this deck is really about. It's a stun deck for control. So now we have, Cauis. It's really amazing. Then we have two Jujitsu Masters. Jujitsus are really good since we're going to have Burden on the field most of the time, Burden of the Mighty. You run into these and it'll top deck your card, and then you're screwed for a turn. You can't run over these, and they stop your opponent from basically swarming the field, and they stop your opponent from basically OTKing you. So next we have two Banisher, the Radiance. Banishers are amazing cards. Since the deck doesn't really matter if it hits the graveyard, the only thing that really matters is the Thunder Kings, but we don't worry too much about negating the special summons. Banishers are really good. They stop your opponents. They stop debris plants completely. They stop Magician gadgets completely. They're really good, really good. I really enjoy using them. Next we have a set of each gadget. Now I know YouTube, you're gonna tell me why run gadgets with Thunder King, and the answer to that is the gadgets work out so great with even with the Thunder Kings, because they shorten your deck, and they also help out with Cyber Dragon, so that you can stop your opponent from basically, if they're running machine gadgets, from OTKing you. So we have the gadgets, and they swarm the field really nicely. They can stop your opponent from, you can keep field advantage. You can sack them for Cauis. You can tribute them for a Cyber Dragon. Before you have Thunder King out on the field, they're really nice. So next we have one Grandmole, basic rebuke, return one card to the hand. When you have a swarm of gadgets on the field, this is really funny. You return a synchro, no damage calculation, and then you basically hit them with gadgets all the way. One DD Warrior Lady removal. It's really good. You can stop synchros. I really like her, using her in any stun deck. Next we have the heart of the deck. Three Burden of the Mighties. Okay, burdens are basically the thing that makes this deck work like it does. They basically stop your opponent from running over any monsters. They activate Tiger King Burden's effect almost automatically if your opponent special summons like Stardust or something really gay. It's automatically destroyed, and they can't activate their effects or anything because they will be removed from the field before they can activate their effects. So burdens are really good. Next we have two Gold Sarcs. You need to search a lot. You need your deck thinned. You need to get those Tiger Kings and those burdens to your hand for this deck to work out properly. Gold Sarcs are really good for that, and they add what you need in less than 2 turns. Two Book of Moons staple in any stun deck. We have one Lightning Vortex. We run Lightning Vortex over Dark Hole for the reason that if you want to keep your normal summon swarm and to keep control, you don't want a Dark Hole and remove your own field. You want to remove their field mostly, and discarding a card isn't that much of a problem, especially since we have so many gadgets. Monster Reborn staple. They should have never brought this card back. MST, really good spell and trap removal. You're gonna need it. Next we have Magic Cylinder. Stops big hitters, gets them to the life points. Really fun to use. Magic Cylinder. It also can stop your opponent from killing you and actually game them. We've done this many times before. We have Torrential Tribute. Gets rid of all your gadgets. Gets rid of your opponent's field. Really good. Bottomless, we only run one because it's so situational in this deck when we have Burden on the field, but Bottomless is supposed to be staple. So not only is it supposed to be staple, if you start off with this and not Burden, this is really good. This can stop your opponent from stopping you from swarming, from getting the field, control. So Starlight Dark Hole is all I need to say for this card. You know, even though people aren't running Heavy Storm, we don't want us to be Dark Hold. We want to keep our field advantage. Anything that pops 2 or more cards is a threat to us, so we run Starlight. Solemn Judgement, staple. Royal Oppression, staple any stun deck. This is never really affects you at all. You basically keep this on the field and your opponent can't do anything, and you're there keeping your field control with your gadgets and keeping your Thunder King on check and keeping your opponent on check. They stop anything that can basically mess you up. To Compulse, remove synchros, because if your opponent synchros early on, you're kind of screwed. So Compulse removes those synchros off the field and removes any big hitters. It's funny to do the Dark Arm, the Judgment Dragon, it's all that stuff. You just Compulse them back to your hand. They're stuck with, you know, a dead draw. Actually, Judgment Dragon isn't much of a dead draw in your hand. So Mirror Force, staple. Deep Prism for removal. You don't like to be hit with anything too big. And if anything can run over anything, you just go, oh, Deep Prism, and oh, that's it. The monster's removed, no questions asked. Gets rid of Stardust, which can really mess up this deck if it's not on the field. So that's our Tiger King stun. If you have any recommendations for the build, we're thinking of running Nobleman of Crossouts on the deck list. So, rate, comment, subscribe, and this was the Duelist Troll with Paul's Tiger King stun deck. Goodbye.